The third session of the Tattersalls December Foal sale delivered a day of standout trade, with 14 lots making 300,000 guineas or more. Anticipation was always going to be high for lot 1025, a colt by Frankel out of St Ledger winner Simple Verse, who, having been offered for sale by Tween Hills Farms, attracted bids from Eugene Daly, Philip Stauffenberg and the ultimately successful John Gunther. The dam was bought as a yearling by David Redvers for €240,000 before going on to win a first classic in the Qatar Racing Silks, adding the fillies and mares on British Champions Day later that season. It was therefore no surprise that Sheikh Fahd was unwilling to part with her first foal and opted to buy out his partners, as explained by his racing and bloodstock manager David Redvers.
He's out of our classic winner, our first domestic classic winner, won the St Ledger. And she also won on Champions Day, so she was a real star for us. She was owned in partnership by Sheikh Fahd and his brother Sheikh Suhaim, and also Mohammed Al Kubaisi. So he had to be sold. Part of the deal when we're breeding from her is that it's very much a commercial enterprise, and so we had to bring it to the foal sales. Sheikh Fahd and Melissa have just had a baby girl, so he didn't get up here until after dark this evening. He hasn't seen the colt since June, I think, and obviously loved him and was very keen to buy him back, or buy his brother and Mohammed out after a certain point. I'm thrilled. I mean, he's one of my favourite horses on the farm, and to be able to grow him out now and see him race in Qatar Racing colours is fantastic.
The highest priced filly during the third session was lot 1004, an Invincible Spirit own sister to black type performers Music Box and Ektaham, who was knocked down to Lincoln Collins on behalf of Woodford Thoroughbreds for 440,000 guineas. One of 5 purchases on the day for the successful buyer, who spent a total of 1.39 million guineas. Bernard Cook of County Kildare-based Bryanstown House bred the filly from a family he knows particularly well.
I have bred 4 fillies out of the mare, and all of them the other 3 previous are stakes winners. So it's been a very lucky family for me, I bought the Grand Dam many years ago here in Newmarket, and I bred King's Best, which is the Dam of Lescune, and she's been a great servant to us, over the years. It's an international market. You have the buyers from all over the world come here. But if you have a nice horse, you have the people here to buy it. And the filly tonight, as far as I know, she's gone to America. But she was a beautiful filly, so. And her full sister made 600,000 2 years ago. But I didn't think she'd even make what she made today. Like 440,000 is a lot of money.
One of the 5 purchases for the day's leading buyers, Woodford Thoroughbreds, came just a few lots later, when securing Castletown Stud's See the Stars filly from the historic German Gestut Schlenderhahn family for 400,000 guineas, a price that took their representative Lincoln Collins slightly by surprise.
She was more than we expected to pay, but she was just a queen. I mean, a really, really lovely filly. I think she was all of our favourites. And again, with a filly, you have options, and I mean, she'd make the most gorgeous yearling if she progresses, in terms of the way that she looks now. I mean, part of this is that Woodford Thoroughbreds is essentially interested. John Sykes, who has a very large business, is interested in diversifying internationally, and obviously with the success of the horses that have come out of Book 1 here in America, that opens up a potential market, whether it's for yearlings or 2-year-olds or broodmares with more English pedigrees.